But the committee should not only make a legislative recommendation, magkaroon po tayong rekomendasyon ng legislation, but as what the Honorable Remulla, and the rest of us discussed before sa PhilHealth deliberations, that we file a case so that to test. Because in the FIS law, at yung po yung nakakatakot, there may be, again, abuses of the SPV law. Maraming salamat, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Honorable Defensor.
Yes. Because it would seem to me...
Is there already daw in Zoom?
Okay, Mr. Bosa, are you there?
Yes, sir. At your service po.
Mr. Bosa, kasi po kayo nagtataka, for the past several hearings, hindi naman kayo nagsasalita about the eligibility. Ngayon po nagsalita na kayo dito at nagklaro kayo ng mga puntos.
Yes, sir.
So that is your position, Mr. Bosa?
That's right, sir. My position is, and I don't know how the BSP upholds this, but I've heard them say it, that the certificate of eligibility only gives the tax exemption. Because at the time of the 2006, there was a secondary market through which not only DBP, but all the other banks were able to sell, to dispose of their NPL po. And as far as I'm concerned, there were a lot of transactions that did not have the privilege po of the COE. So in other words, all of those transactions, by inference, I believe, are not illegal. They just didn't have the benefit of the tax exemption, which the certificate of eligibility that the BSP gives grants them po. So I guess there were a lot of transactions. I was in the private sector at that time. And private sector po yan. And I guess it bounds also the GFIs. It was not an illegal act po. If you had, di ho ba, ang COE. Kaya meron tayong dalawang Lopez transactions that had the benefit of the COE for which we got some tax exceptions. And there were the two others na wala po. But that's, to me, is not an illegal act po. And I don't know, maybe we could ask BSP to clarify because I heard their statement. I can't even understand it. Thank you po.
So, yeah, Mr. Bosa, okay naman po ako dun eh. Kasi tama naman kayo. Again, I reiterate, ang private sector is allowed. So, wag na natin mag-argue. Ang sabi naman po ng Bangko Sentral, sabi niya, hindi, pag walang compliance, wala. Pero sabi din, sige, if you do that, may eligibility. Simple lang naman po ang tanong ko, Mr. Bosa, you are the head of one of the biggest financial institutions, if not the biggest of the government financial institutions. Bakit hindi niyo po kausapin ng presidente at ipaliwanag kung ganyan ang inyong paniniwala? Bakit po tayo nagpapagulo dito? Dahil ang view ko po, ang aking pong pananaw, and I hope this could be tested in court, mag-file ng case talaga, bawal. Bawal ho. Tama ho kayo, sa private sector pwede. Siyempre kami naman dito, nandito lang naman kami sa mababang kapulungan. Kayo po'y director dyan. Andyan po si Chairman Romulo, Secretary Dominguez, Senior Finance Secretary. Ba't hindi niyo po pag-usapan kung ano tong kaso na to? Because the President has been talking about this 3 years ago. Yun po, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you po. Honorable Mike, maraming salamat po dyan sa guidance po ninyo. And I really appreciate our dialogue today and also, with due respect also for our chairman, for forgive me if sometimes I interject. Thank you po sa inyo lahat.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, yes, Mr. Chairman, I just like to clarify, this has been the statement of the President for 3 years. And in 2011, this was stated during the investigation of the Senate. Mr. Bosa, is it not true that there are other government offices conducting a study on this matter?
At this point in time, sir?
Yes. I mean, maybe within the year, may gumawa po ng pag-aaral tungkol dito.
Saan po? Sa Lopez loans po?
Yes, the Lopez loans at yung pong 9 billion. The Lopez loans.
Sir, wala. Kasi sir, alam nyo sir, tapos na transaction na po yan eh. Ever since I got into DBP, which is almost 3 years no, hindi ko natin na pag-usapan po na yan eh. Until of course, you know, this is
Wala
brought
pong,
up.
yes, I'm sorry, President Bosa. So wala pong
Hindi.
gumagalaw at nag-aaral ng particular sitwasyon na to from the executive?
I cannot say because I'm only just a member of the. You mean the executive branch of the government, or as in DBP?
The executive branch of government, Mr. Bosa.
You know, sir, I'm just confined as to my role as president and CEO of DBP po. So,
Thank you. Yes.
to my knowledge, Honorable Mike, I cannot say what is going on beyond me.
Thank you, Mr. Bosa. Kasi po, nabanggit ko again yan because I'm referring to the statement of Secretary Roque. That was a detailed study. Yung binanggit po ni Mr. Manyala ngayong umaga, na ngayon lang natin nalaman, yung exact figures, was already being presented by Secretary Roque. And nung una, hindi ko alam kung saan nanggaling yun, but now I realize, nanggaling po yun sa, may mga data siya na nakikita. And again, I reiterate the fact na ang Pangulo nagsalita na po dito dati pa. Diba? And, you know, all I'm asking is, we do not make a judgment. Although may position po ako my personal position was that illegal po yun. Yung certificate of eligibility, hindi kayo nakuha, illegal yun. If you sold it in another process, in another way, kung iba po yung pamamaraan, pwede po yun. Kasi yun nga po sa gobyerno, medyo mas maigpit sa atin. Ngayon ang Pangulo nagsasalta na rin dati pa ng ganyan. Diba? Na sinasabi niya nga, at ito pinaliwanag na namin, yung 6 bilyon na pagkalugi, hindi sa write-off, hindi sa condemnation. Pero yung pagkakalugi talaga ng gobyerno. Ngayon, it would seem na iba yung posisyon ng DBP or meron kayong ibang posisyon, you explain it to the President. Diba? It should not be a burden of this committee to make a study and then you have a different interpretation of what should transpire. Diba? Dahil ang Pangulo mismo nagsalita dito and dito was a take-off ng ABS-CBN hearing. Now, we are independent of the President. Pero at least kung mapaliwanag nyo sa kanila, magkakaintindihan tayo kung ano talaga yung naging proseso. Now, and Mr. Chairman, having said that, I maintain the position that the committee should not only, kasi po I understand the Ombudsman is already conducting its study now, from what I've heard, but the committee should not only make a legislative recommendation, magkaroon po tayong rekomendasyon ng legislation, but as what the Honorable Remulla, and the rest of us discussed before sa PhilHealth deliberations, that we file a case so that to test. Because in the FIS law, at yung po yung nakakatakot, there may be, again, abuses of the SPV law. Maraming salamat, Mr. Chairman.